Have you ever felt like you're just surrounded by idiots? I mean, you try to explain something that seems perfectly clear, but somewhere along the way, your message just gets completely lost. It is such a common frustration, and today, we're going to break down why it happens and give you a practical guide to actually fix it. Seriously, let's be honest. We have all been there. You're in a meeting, maybe at a family dinner, or just chatting with a friend, and it feels like there is this invisible wall between you. Things get confusing, you feel totally unheard, and you're just left thinking, why on earth does nobody get what I am saying? And, it's so easy to jump to that conclusion. But what if the problem isn't that everyone else is an idiot? What if we're all just speaking completely different languages and we don't even realize it? The secret isn't trying to change them. It's about finally understanding them so we can craft our message in a way that actually lands. So, how do we do that? Well, we're going to dive into a simple but really powerful framework from Thomas Erickson's book, the one that inspired our title today. It's basically a system for decoding human behavior that can help you predict how people think and act, which makes all your interactions way smoother and so much more effective. Okay, but let's get real for a second. People are complicated, right? We're not robots. So this isn't about slapping labels on people or stuffing them into neat little boxes. Think of this model more like a set of lenses, a tool that gives you a massive advantage in understanding what really motivates the people around you. So the whole system boils down to this super simple chart. It looks at two basic things about our behavior. First, are you more dominant and outspoken, or are you more reserved and quiet? And second, do you tend to focus on getting tasks done, or are you more focused on the people and relationships involved? That simple grid gives us our four core colors: red, yellow, blue, and green. All right, let's kick things off with the top half of our chart: the dominant, more extroverted personalities. These are the people who, naturally grab the attention in a room, but as you're about to see, they do it in completely different ways. First up, we've got the reds. These are the drivers, the decisive, get-it-done kind of people. When there's a challenge, they are the first ones charging ahead, ready to make things happen. Their entire philosophy can basically be summed up as, let's do it and let's do it now. This relentless drive is what a red is all about. They are obsessed with goals and results. You know the type, that manager who replies to your long, detailed email with just one word: done. They're confident, they're fearless, and they're incredibly efficient because they don't get bogged down in endless talk. They just see a target and they move. But of course, there's a flip side to all of that drive. Reds can be super impatient. They're often terrible listeners because, in their mind, they're already 3 steps ahead of you. Their laser focus on the task means they can come off as aggressive, and honestly, they don't really worry about ruffling a few feathers to get the job done. Now let's meet their outspoken counterpart, the yellows. If reds are the generals charging into battle, yellows are the charismatic party starters rallying the troops. They are creative, funny, super optimistic, and they absolutely live for talking and connecting with other people. Yellows bring this infectious energy to any group. They're amazing storytellers and idea generators. If you're ever stuck and need some fresh ideas, you definitely want a yellow in the room. They put relationships first and keep morale high with their relentless, almost contagious optimism. The challenge with yellows? Well, all that wonderful talking can sometimes get in the way of actually doing. They can lack focus, get distracted pretty easily, and, just like reds, they are also terrible listeners, but for a totally different reason. They are so focused on being liked that they really struggle with any kind of negative feedback. And right here you can see the huge difference. They're both dominant, but what drives them is completely opposite. A red jumps into action for the result. A yellow starts by talking to build the relationship. For a red, it's all about the what. For a yellow, it's all about the who. Okay, let's flip over to the other side of the matrix. Now we're looking at the reserved, more introverted personalities. These are the people who are way more likely to listen, observe, and really think things through before they ever open their mouths. So first up, we have green. And this is a big one because the vast majority of people have a whole lot of green in their personality. Greens are the steady anchor of any team or family. They value stability, loyalty, and predictability more than anything else. I mean, think about this statistic. It's wild. Why do so many of us fail our New Year's resolutions? It's because real change is hard, and deep down, most people resist it. This is the very heart of the green personality. They don't like risk or sudden changes. They want things to be safe and consistent. So on one hand, this means greens are incredibly reliable, they're loyal, and they are fantastic listeners, the total opposite of reds and yellows. But the trade-off for all that stability is a powerful resistance to change. They can be really indecisive and will avoid conflict at all costs, which can sometimes just lead to things getting stuck. And finally, we have the blues. These are the quiet architects of our world, the methodical, analytical thinkers. If you need a problem taken apart, researched, and solved with almost surgical precision, you call a blue. They live in a world of facts, data, and pure logic. Blues have these almost superhuman analytical abilities. They remember all the tiny details other people miss, and they approach everything in a systematic way. The downside? Their quest for perfection can lead to analysis paralysis, where they get so stuck on getting everything 100% right that they never actually finish. And that intense focus on data can make them seem kind of distant or not very social. Okay, so now you know the 4 colors. Big deal, right? Well, just being able to spot them isn't really the point. The real power, the true game changer, comes from using this knowledge to consciously adapt your own style for way, way better communication. This quote just nails it. The whole journey starts with knowing yourself. Once you understand your own habits and your own triggers, you can start to recognize the patterns in other people. And then, this is the crucial part, you can adjust how you interact with them to get the best result for everyone. And listen, this is so important. No single color is good or bad, and pretty much nobody is 100% just one color. We're all a blend. You might be a results-driven red at work, but a stability-loving green at home. The goal isn't to label people, it's to understand the unique mix inside yourself and inside of them. So here it is, your 3-step action plan. It's super simple. First, know your color. Figure out your own primary style. Second, read the room. When you're talking to someone, are they a fast-paced red or a thoughtful blue? And third, adapt your style. Slow down for a green, get straight to the point for a red. It's that simple. Once you learn to speak these 4 different languages, you're going to find that suddenly, you're not surrounded by idiots anymore. You're surrounded by people you can finally understand and connect with. So, the only question left is, which color are you?